Hey guys, this is Abba with CoffeeNCode. Today I'll be looking at the static keyword. We can make a function static, a class static, anything we want really. So let's get started. So as you can see in this quick example, I have a class calculator and I have a function inside it called sum. And this will be public and it will return an integer, and it will take two integer parameters and just simply return them both added together, which will just create our sum function. So in order to consume this function normally, we would have to make an instance of the calculator, as shown below here. We would make a new variable of type calculator to match the class. Then we would give it a name, calculator with a lowercase c, because it's case sensitive. And then we would instantiate a new calculator and place it inside our new variable. Then when we do calculator dot, then we can see we have our sum function, which is this one right here. So in the line below, we just have an integer called result, and we're just storing the return value of 10 plus 15. So if we just run this code using F5, we can see that the value is indeed 25. So in order to be able to use the static word, we can do a very simple change. Just before you specify the return type of a function, you can type the word static. Nothing will appear to change, except now you'll see an error. And this error says it cannot be accessed with an instance reference, because what we're trying to do is we're making an instance of it and then we're trying to call it, and it doesn't like that because it's static. So what we can do now is, now that it's static, it belongs to the calculator class, but it just belongs to it. That means we don't have to make a new instantiation of it before we can then consume it. So what we can do now, instead of specifying the variable that we made here and we did the full stop after, we can just reference the class directly. So if you start type calculator with a capital C to match the class name, and then you do a dot, you'll see that sum is indeed available. And we can type in our 10 and 15 here. So now that we've made this function static, we can remove our instantiator. And then all we need to do here is, instead of specifying the little c, which is the local variable we just deleted, we can change that to a capital C. And now it will be referencing the class, and the only thing that's available inside this class as of right now is a static int sum function. So we can use it like this, and if we hit F5, you'll see that exactly the same result has happened. Now let's see what's happened here. We've inserted the static keyword, which just means that this function will always belong to the calculator regardless if you've instantiated it or not. If we had another function in here called divide, and just for the purpose of the example, let's just return a value. And because this one is not static, if we try and type calculator dot, we do not see divide in the list because it's not static. As soon as you type the word static, it comes up in the function list. This is because when you type the word static, it just means that you're telling the compiler to have this readily available for you at all times. And this can be very helpful in many cases. If you want a very small function to execute something that doesn't rely on a lot of data and you can just have a return value from it, then it can be very helpful. In cases where it will really mess up your program is when you have something like a user class. And you could define a public static string name, and then when you go to use this name, you could type in user.name and then equals app. And then you could very easily print that to the screen, and if you run that program, it will indeed print app. Now what if you want to store two users on your system, and you have this twice, and you override this by ABBA because you want to store two users, and what happens if you press F5 now? AB has executed the first time, and ABBA has been overwritten, so ABBA has overwritten AB, and this is a problem because now you've just lost all the data about the first user. So in very specific cases you could use a static keyword, but in some cases, like when you're trying to define actual data for a system, it should not be used because this variable is only referenced once, because it's static. In this case it's very helpful because you're giving the static keyword to a function that doesn't rely on real data, it just takes in values and returns a value. If you're storing people's credentials or name or ages, anything in the system, then you want to actually store them instead of just overriding the last one. So just a quick recap. So we use this static keyword to make this sum function available through the calculator class instead of instantiate in the calculator. So once we use a static, it can be available through the calculator keyword, which is the name of the class, and then you could use .sum immediately after. If we take the static out, then you would need to make an instance of the calculator class before making use of the sum function. As you can see now, it says it's a non-static field, so we won't be able to access it directly through the class, as when we do the dot notation you can see that it's not available, but as soon as you make it static you can see it is available right here. A case where you'd not use static is when you're trying to define data, because as shown in this example you will just overwrite the data, so be sure to use it in certain cases. If you have a function that's not used as often, then I'd suggest not using the static keyword, because as soon as you make your program and run it, this function will be readily available for everyone to use. Now the problem arises is where you have too many of these static functions and they're not used very often, so it might take up a lot of memory and they're just sat there doing nothing. So if the function's readily available, like if you were making a calculator and you were making use of the sum function often, then that's fine. If you were making a program like a management system and you were outputting someone's name to the console or something, then I probably wouldn't suggest using static, because the amount of times that they'd be using it in the lifetime of the application won't be as much. So you want to stick to setting static to functions where you think they'll be used often and the overhead of creating a constructor will be too much, so you can use a static word. So just to show you a very quick example, the math library that C# has available inside system.math is all static functions. All of these functions can just be simply used. So we can do the max of 10 and 15, and let's just see what it returns. 15, because that's the bigger number. And if we hold control, and you can see it's getting underlined now, and we press on the max function, it will show us the definition of this function. Of course it won't give us the code, but it'll give us a little summary of what the function does that's wrote by Microsoft themselves. And you can see the definition of the function here. It's public, so we can use it, and it's static, so we can use it without a constructor. It returns an integer, it's called max, and it takes in 2 integer parameters, as we can see here. But the point is, this math library is all full of static functions. So if you think someone's going to use your function often enough, and you don't want them to rely on a constructor, then you should be using the static word. If not, then I would avoid using the static word so you don't have the overhead. Thank you for watching, I hope that made sense. If you have any comments, please drop them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.